Hello everyone, my name is Mirna, and on behalf of the Mindalia TV team, welcome to Mindalia live streaming, where thousands of people around the world gather daily to see the lectures and interviews organized by Mindalia TV. Today with us, Angel Ribo, CEO, consultant, TV host, international public speaker, and president of the Wisdom for Kids Foundation, is going to be co-hosting with our dear Sunny Chayes. Sunny is not only the host of this show, but also the host of ABC Solutionary Sundays. She is a feature writer and chief strategist for Whole Lifetimes magazine, the longest conscious life magazine in America. Sunny is also a producer, moderator, and a mythbuster, among other many talents. Before starting with them, we want to remind you that Mindalia's mission is to share information that can help raise the level of consciousness around the world. And you can help us by subscribing to our channel, leaving us a positive comment down this video, or sharing it with someone that you know that is going to benefit of the content that we're going to be talking here today. Also, while we are live streaming, we have the active chat, the screen that you're going to be seeing here on my side. Through there, you can interact with us, and you're going to see it also under the screen in case that you're seeing us from a smartphone. We want you to collaborate with us with your own valuable content, and for that, you can go to our website. On the top, there's going to be a link that says Collaborate with Mindalia. Through that link, you're going to find the form. You're going to fill out the form, and our technical team will be able to contact you, and you can collaborate with us in Portuguese through Mindalia Televisao, in English through Mindalia TV English, as you already know, and in Spanish. We want you to visit our different channels, platforms, accounts, Facebook pages, Instagram accounts. In that way, if you follow us, you help us reach as much people as possible in the planet. And you're also updated on the information that is being shared daily. Information as beautiful and as interesting as the one that you see daily on Mindalia TV. I'm not going to delay this any further, and I'm going to leave you with Angel, with Sunny. We're going to be talking today about love. Guys, welcome to Mindalia live streaming, and the screen is yours.
Thank you very much, Mirna, for the introduction. It's not that we don't talk about love every single Thursday, Sunny, don't you think?
I think so too. I guess that's our week. This week, you know how we do a year or a month of a word, and I guess our word this month for February is love. Let us know that that's what it is.
Absolutely. And you know, I'm not at my studio, so you probably see me on a different even posture, but it's just to make sure that I'm not going to be falling off the place where I am. but anyway, again, it's a special Thursday today, because today is actually February 14th, 2019, and you know what happens every February 14th? What happens is that is the day of love. Actually, I was just sharing with Sunny that we say it in Spanish, in the Spanish-speaking world, that in Spain we say it's el día de los enamorados. So you know it's the day of the people that are in love with each other. And in Latin America, we say that it's the day el día del amor y de la amistad. So friendship and love and lots of things happening. And what better than starting the day with wonderful music played by the one and only Sunny Chayes.
Well, thank you. And I am going to do a little bit of music, but what I thought I would do is do a surprise for you that you don't even know about yet.
Oh my God!
You know, I write for Whole Lifetimes, and there's a story that's actually true. I love to always dig into the details of a holiday or any kind of thing that we do, because I know that everything's based in something. And for a while, people were saying, oh, Valentine's Day is just a Hallmark holiday and it doesn't really mean anything. And so I researched it, and I will show you this picture if I can. Here we go. And I wrote an article called The Legend of Saint Valentinus of Rome, the Sacred Activist of a Temple Priest. So I thought I would read this article because it's really this story. It's really a story. The origin story of the widely celebrated holiday Valentine's Day, previously known as Saint Valentine's Day, is one of honor, love, and social activism. During the 3rd century, Emperor Claudius, I believe it's pronounced Gothius II, with his kingdom of Rome, prohibited any engagements of marriage to be formed. He was heavily invested in the many wars he was raging, and didn't want the men to have loyalties other than to Rome itself. Attachments could weaken the resolve of his soldiers and potential recruits. Valentine, Latin Valentinus, a simple priest of Rome, knew of this decree and chose to marry the young lovers in secret, knowing that if he was discovered, the threat of torture and persecution by beheading could be his end. In candlelit rooms with voices in a whisper, the story goes, Valentine performed hundreds of marriage ceremonies for many years. He was finally discovered and imprisoned. The emperor insisted that Valentine renounce his Christian faith, as well as admit his actions were wrong in order to be set free. The humble priest would not submit to his fate, and his fate was sealed. While in prison, one of his guardsmen requested that Valentine heal his blind daughter, as he had healed others. The young Julia was brought to the priest, and he did indeed heal her eyesight. They had a number of visits and fell in love. During this time, word spread that priest Valentine of Rome, that's a bird chirping, was held captive and soon would be executed. The young lovers he married heard of his fate and came to the grounds of the prison, where they prayed for him and bestowed bouquets of flowers to Valentine in gratitude. It is said that the day before his execution, he asked to see Julia one last time. The emperor forbade it. Valentine requested permission to pen a letter to his beloved and have it delivered after his death. The letter ended with, "Love, your Valentine." The execution was the 14th day of February, circa 270 AD. Saint Valentine of Rome became the patron saint of love, happy marriages, young people, and beekeepers, and is often pictured with birds and roses. The presumed relics of Saint Valentine can be found all over the world. Many believe that the relics continue the invisible presence of the saint's love and compassion. It is also told that Pope Gelasius I ended the pagan fertility feast of Lupercalia and declared 14th of February, 496 AD to be celebrated as the feast day of Saint Valentine. The first connection of romance citing Saint Valentine and the 14th day of February is with Geoffrey Chaucer's In the Middle Age poetry. In the 3rd century, the name Valentine or Valentinus was given as an honorarium. As a result, there were a number of priests named Valentinus. During his reign, Claudius executed 2 other Valentines on February 14th in different years. One was a priest in Rome and the other a bishop of Terni, Italy. Yet another priest named Valentine was executed in a Roman province in Africa. 3rd century scholars suggest that it's possible the stories may be conflated, a few priests into one or one into a few. Others believe the story of Valentine and Julia. Even though the story of Valentine, priest of Rome, may not be verifiable history, perhaps we are reminded of the ever elusive aspect of love and faith itself. Perhaps this historical account reminds us of our belief in the good, doing what's ours to do, and the inspiration of noble acts and faith in us all. That was written by me.
So what's the number one lesson then? I would say never hide your feelings for anybody.
Yes.
So
that is right.
That could be one of them. And and it's, I mean, obviously it's really good that he was able to show, to not only to say what he was really doing and to say what he was really wanting to do, but that he became eventually 200 years later the flagship of love, which is amazing.
That's it. And what I love about this story is that it really is, he was, one of those first actual social activists, knowing that, I mean, it took all these years until when was it? It was the late 1990s or early 2000s where we legalized gay marriages in California, and before that people were doing such a thing and being in trouble with that. Angel, I want to ask a favor for us. I want you to chat for a little bit, and I'd love Myrna to mute me for about 1 minute because I want to do something to turn our birds off. So Myrna,
okay.
can you Can you mute me for a sec and let Angel chat away?
Of course. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Of course. So yes, this is one of those special days in which, after having had so many guests throughout the year that have been talking about love, we really wanted to do something different, and we really wanted to talk about, what was behind the story of the day in which, everybody say to their friends and to their loved ones how much they love them, how much they appreciate the friendship and the love. Being love, one of the most powerful, forces on earth. I think that, and we have spoken about this a little bit with some guests, with Sunny, which is, our heart is the number one love generator of our body. We are 99.999% of energy ourselves, and we are able, upon having an intention on it, we are able to actually start focusing our intention on our heart, and we can start generating coherence in our entire being. That's how powerful love is. That sounds like rocket science, but really, all of us, when we are in bliss, when we really love someone and we show that love to someone, and today is one of those days, our entire spirit shines and glows. So it would be nice. I think we probably have heard, as a mythbuster, I'm sure that you've heard about this. There's people measuring the coherence of the entire planet every day. And I think there's even a network of people doing that every day. Is that correct? Does that sound like right?
There are many networks, luckily. There is Greg Braden, who is doing work. There's HeartMath. There's, of course, our buddy and a guest who will be on the show soon, Lynn McTaggart. There's Dr. Bruce Lipton. There is Dr. Sue Mortar. There are many who are doing that. And what's so exciting, one thing I learned that I thought was so great, we talk a lot in our world about, or at least I think it's a human condition. We try to get perfect. We try to get things just right. And when I was reading a lot about the heart coherence, I learned something fascinating, which is the heartbeat that we have. Sometimes people may go to the doctor and they'll say you have an irregular heartbeat or something. Now, this isn't I'm not saying a medical thing, so I don't want to get in trouble by you guys, but what they found is that there's kind of this beat and then time, beat and then time, beat. And there are times when that is not actually even. And the distance between the unevenness is actually where we grow, where we connect, and where we expand. And so the idea of not being perfect is actually perfect, because that is where we expand, and that's where we also can connect. That's where the coherence is. So I thought that was so fascinating, because I think I have a heart murmur or a heart irregularity. And so now I know it's not really irregular, it's what it's meant to be. So I think that's what's cool about understanding and connecting the dots with science and with spirituality, to find out that there's something so powerful, to not separate them out and even have them be at war, which they have been for many years because of political reasons. But to bring, to know that there's something very, very magnetic and magnificent going on.
What would happen? How does the life feel when you start living it from the heart, as opposed to from the mind and from the thoughts? How does life start feeling like? Because today is a great day to do that, because we are consistently telling everybody how much we love them and how much we appreciate their presence in our lives and their friendship. So I would like to maybe suggest to the audience, if that's okay with you,
yes,
that every time they express those kind of feelings with the people or for the people around them, specifically today, as opposed to doing it from their mind, try to bring their attention into their heart and try to feel that from the heart. And when you say, Sunny, I love you, say it from the heart, and you will see a difference. You will perceive a difference. And just now I was just doing it. I was just putting my attention in the heart as opposed to the mind. And it makes a big difference, really. Try to do it. It sounds really more genuine. much more genuine, much more authentic, besides the, you know, the love that you are able to emanate or, you know, spread all over the place.
Yeah, and as you were talking, I was thinking of something that I love to do. You know, I always love to switch around words, and I think a fun thing to do today would be, and then we can take this forward, is when to change the word feel.
Okay, but we don't hear her. I know.
Oh,
Is that David?
is this David? Hi, David. Hi, David.
Turn camera. Yeah, turn those.
David, just speak. David, just speak.
Turn camera on.
Oh my goodness.
Mute microphone.
David, just speak.
Mute microphone.
Oh my goodness.
That's okay. That's okay.
David.
Everything happens for a reason.
I guess.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, it does. It does. It does. It does.
Well, at least you're here. Look down here. That's you. That's her.
David.
I know.
David.
You're both in.
Myrna, can he hear us?
Yeah, I just muted him. I just muted David just in case. So, as soon as.
Oh my goodness.
There.
Myrna, is there any reason? Oh my goodness.
Don't worry. Let's continue. I muted him,
Okay.
but now I cannot unmute him.
Yeah, I think
Anyway,
Myrna, why don't we just allow David for another day? I don't know how this is happening. But yeah, what I was going to say is, why don't we, instead of saying I think this, I think that, just change that word to I feel. You know, what a fun experience that would be. I think we should go to the store today. I feel we should go to the store today. Or I think we should go to the movie. I feel, because that is really true. If we can get more into our feeling, it would be fantastic, don't you think?
Absolutely, yes. Yes. Because then it becomes more, you know, more life. It becomes alive. It becomes, I mean, the ideas, the things that you want to do in your life, they become more real, much more real. You know, a feeling is much more real than any thought. That's why, you know, it's funny. I was telling you that I'm today in a different place outside my studio, and I attended this week a conference. It's from a corporation, and it's a funny thing that the name of the conference was 3D experience. You know, so. Yeah. Everybody's looking for experiences, and obviously experiences are so connected to feelings, so connected to what you really feel when you are doing something. So yes, absolutely. Life would be completely different if we started to feel as opposed to be thinking all the time. And you had your guitar nearby. What did you intend to do with your beautiful guitar today, Sunny?
You know, I don't know, but one thing that I do want to say is that I was invited to. You know, music is such a symbol of. I'm putting my lei on from my Hawaiian experience. We had the Grammy Awards here last Sunday, and I was invited to a Hawaiian Grammy party, honoring and, you know, giving out the awards and all that stuff. And you know, I was realizing just the sacredness of music so much, and I had never really studied or known very much about Hawaiian music, and being there, you know, just, I mean, they were able through the music for me to really feel the island, for me to really feel the history, the sacredness, the ritual, the meaning of Hawaii and what, you know, what that is. And so it was just so powerful for me to remember on so many levels what music always does for us. So I don't have a song right in my mind right now, except that I was just singing love, love, love from the Beatles, as we know. Love, love, love. Love, 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 love. So, you know, there's nothing we can do anything, you know, with music. And I feel like music has always been, I mean, it's the anthem. It's like the song Dancing in the Streets, you know, that was a song that came from Motown, and it was a song that, you know, people sang, but it then ended up becoming an anthem for the civil rights, you know. It doesn't matter what you wear, just as long as you are there. You know, just come on, everybody. Come on, everybody. You know, take it to the streets, people. Come together, take it to the streets, you know, get our message out there. Do it with dancing and singing, you know, not violence necessarily, but bring it and bring it together in community. So that's what I always feel about what music allows for us. And again, with the heart, it opens, music allows information to get into our heart, and it passes our brain. It goes right into our body and right into our heart. So that's why I'm so grateful that there's always music around.
Is there, I was wondering, I don't know if today is typically celebrated with music. It's celebrated with flowers. I've seen many people on the streets already with flowers this morning. And also people with excuse me, we already have. Hi, David. Can you hear us?
David.
I don't hear anything. I don't understand.
David.
Hold on. This thing
Hi,
here.
David. You're live on the show right now.
Hello,
we hear
hello.
you. We see you.
Okay.
You're with us.
Everything happens for a reason. So it's funny that this is happening today with us, but for us. But that's okay.
What about now? You
So
hear us?
No, we hear you. Yeah,
Okay.
we hear you.
We don't hear you.
Myrna, can we just let him know he's on the air live?
Yeah, he does. He does know that. She just.
I don't know what he knows.
My apologies to the audience if they're, we're just trying to be really spontaneous here because we've had some, David has had some issues here today connecting with us. But anyway, everything is fine. So, what happens in the LA area today? Are there any specific, celebrations? Are there any specific pieces of music or art that are happening today?
There are some things, but back to the music, you're absolutely right. There isn't really that much music tied to Valentine's Day. I'm thinking of St. Patrick's Day coming up, and we'll definitely be doing music on the show for that day. But yeah, you have a point about that. What's happening here is there's such an incredible rainstorm that's coming through that even delivering flowers and everything that we're saying on the news is kind of a lot of the Valentine celebrations are maybe going to be a little bit dampened because we're not used to this rain here in LA.
But it's needed, right? It's so needed.
Yes, it's so needed. It's so needed. We're definitely having, it may end up having some storms. I mean, the floods and mud and all that because of our fires. So it's all kind of wild, wild west out here. I'll tell you.
Is there a song of your life, Sunny?
Is there a song of my life? Yeah, I mean, I feel like there are many songs of my life, at different times. I mean, Dancing in the Streets is definitely one. There's one song that I watched a movie. We have a beautiful museum here called the Hammer Museum, and it was by people donating. It ended up being free, and you can go and just see different movies. And I went to see a movie called it was from Charlie Chaplin, and it was called Modern Times, and it was so fantastic. And all through, they showed all of these challenges and everything. And there was a song that was in it, woven through it, and it was a song, "Smile, though your heart is breaking, smile. Da 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 da, smile. Oh yes, smile. Ba da 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 da, bum bum." Let's see, how does it go? Smile through your tears and sorrow. Smile, 'cause maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through. If you just smile. Oh, it just makes me cry. So that's one song that, and that's a song that that Jerry Lewis used to use when he would do many years ago his marathon, the telethons, and that felt like marathons sometimes. And he would sing that song at the end and always cry. I don't think he ever got through it, but I feel like there are many songs of my life where there are different times when music, different ones, happy songs, and because I'm Irish, and Jewish, so I feel the Jewish songs, the cantors songs, and then the Irish music just goes into my soul. I don't know if it goes into everybody's soul, but for my soul, woo. So yeah, that's my long-winded answer to your question.
No, fantastic. Yes, because one time I was actually asked this question on the show, and I said, I really don't know. And then I started thinking, and the gentleman that was interviewing me, he said, there has to be one, there has to be one. And then the first one that came was a song that I started to remember, not to sing. I don't sing that well. I dance, but not sing, which is called Take the Long Way Home. Take the Long Way Home by Supertramp. Well, remember the band?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I love the rhythm of that song. And I suddenly realized, and the guy said, well, after all the answers before, I think that it makes sense that your favorite question is Take the Long Way Home, because you've lived in so many countries and you've worked in so many countries. You've been all over the world, blah, blah, blah. And you're taking the long way to your final destination, your final home. And he asked me, what is your final home? Are you going back to Spain, or are you staying in the US? And I said, I'm not leaving the US anytime soon. So probably I think I took a very long way home and lived in 6 different countries before coming to the US, and this is definitely my home.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great. Do you really feel home in where you live?
Yes, absolutely. I do. Mm-hmm.
Because I sort of do and I sort of don't. And I realize that part of that is my inner work. Because the outer, when I think of, I could live here, I could live there. I've lived a lot of places too. And I realized by the time I was 40, I think it was, I lived in 35 homes. And so we moved, a lot. My dad was an architect, not it sounds a little devious, but no. But it was something like that, or maybe when I was 50 or something, but it was a lot of homes.
Your dad never found the right architectural design.
Yeah, he was always changing them. I remember sitting on the phone as a little girl, teenager, and he'd be pulling down, the people be pulling down roofs and building more roofs and ceilings and painting, and he always was mixing it up, but or finding new homes, and he was a great architect. And so we lived in Africa, and we lived in, he would go many different places. But I realized that a lot of the places have the same things. They have coffee shops and restaurants and libraries and people, and everything is, what is different about any place? It's when I go there. I always, as they say, wherever you go, there you are. And so I realized for me to really, really feel home, it was a bit of the inner work, and getting what is that brings us. We were in the beginning of the show talking about our hearts, and what is really, really, that idea of home is where the heart is, and all of these cliches, but they're actually true. So on this day of Valentine's Day, I think it would be a wonderful opportunity for all of us out there to maybe find a way to come home a little bit more to our inner heart. Ooh, that makes me cry. But yeah, because again, I feel the more we're that way, the more we can love the people around us. And it's a worthy journey.
It's funny because for the last couple of weeks that I've been traveling a lot. As you know, I was in Latin America with Wisdom for Kids. I was talking with several people about where to find their happiness. And working with this, we work with more than 100 kids, boys and girls, from 7-year-olds to 12-year-olds. And these kids don't have literally anything. Yeah. But they were so happy to see us. They were so happy to jump and to dance and to listen to our stories and to meditate And we had this. We ask the kids to meditate. We have a very powerful set of affirmations that we do with them when we go to Latin America to help them become entrepreneurs. And those affirmations, go like between the lines of, you are whole, you are complete, and we're talking about happiness, and do whatever makes you be happy in your life. And when we got into the meditation, a few of them said, "Hey, I literally lost conscious of my body, and I was somewhere else. I was like floating. I didn't feel my arms. I was, seeing everybody else in this room, and obviously everybody was like with their eyes closed." So, yes, I mean, finding that place that you were just talking about is going inside. It's not going outside. It's going inside. And even the poorest and more underprivileged kids in the world, they can find their happiness, and they can find their heart and their source, and their source of being and happiness inside of them. So, and these kids, they have never meditated before. They didn't know what meditating was, and now they have a way to do it. So, yes, it's important to share with everybody that the love and the happiness and the sense of everybody is inside of them and not outside.
Yeah, and the gratitude. And when I was watching this movie, Modern Times, Charlie Chaplin and a beautiful actress, I don't remember her name, I don't really know her, but she was exquisite. And the different things that happened with the challenges with work. There would be work, then there would be a strike, then there would be, they're just the things that these two went through, and how they found the joy in everything. And when and when things would happen, when circumstances would happen that were out of their control, they would make the best of it every single time, until the point where I was ready to like scream. I just couldn't believe how many, just how beautiful they were, and what just kept happening. And then at the end of the movie, just walking down, you were talking about the Supertramp song, Take the Long Road Home. At the end of the movie, they're just on this path, and the two of them are holding hands, and they're walking down this path to yet, I'm sure, another adventure together. Together. That was, I felt, the other point was that that when we are together, that's what it's about. I'm reading this book right now by Dr. Bruce Lipton it's called Spontaneous Evolution. And what he was explaining, and I think this is so cool, is he talks about the cells, billions of years ago, there were just single cells. And then the cells decided that it was a good idea. I'm saying this in very kindergarten terms, but that there were organisms that felt that it was that being together was a little safer, and so cells came together. Let's say there was one cell, then there was 1,000-cell organism, but each cell kept its own. It was like a person, and then it was like 1,000 people came together, but they were cells, and they all had everything in common. They had their own membranes, but they came together and created a membrane around them, and then it grows and grows. Well, we now are 50 trillion cells, but each cell in our body is that little, like as if it's an individual human being. And so the communication, the companionship, the love, the non competition, the cells in our body do not compete. The liver doesn't compete with the gallbladder. It doesn't say, well, gosh, I'm getting more blood or I'm getting more oxygen. It just doesn't work that way. And so it was so fascinating to learn about this and to realize that, that we do have the opportunity with all of this political stuff and everything going on. We have the opportunity to take this as a real opportunity to say, we are a community, as Bruce would say, all the people, the 7 billion people, the cells in our body were 700 times more cells than all the people on the planet. So that's kind of a wild number to wrap our heads around. But thinking of it that way, we think it could be possible for the 7 billion people to come together as one, global humanity, as one global entity. It is possible. And working together, like the liver and the heart, or the gallbladder and the spleen, you know, and sharing resources constantly with that membrane. But it's a soft membrane. Things go back and forth as needed. You know, if we think of that, you know, then it's all about the joy. And I think of the kids here, you know, in LA, let's say, or in America, where, you know, some of the poorest kids in America have it better than, you know, some of the richest kids in other parts of the world. And I think, wow, if there's some way we can move to a place of collaboration like we have in our bodies. I think the idea that we do it already in our bodies, it's not like we have to dream someday that that can happen. It's already happening. We already have proof of it. The fact you're sitting on your couch and I'm sitting in this chair talking, we're proof that 50 trillion entities can thrive together, heal as things come up. A little this or a little that. The other community members say, we don't need that. That's not good for our benefit. So let's come together. Let's get some antibodies and let's get that. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye now. Here's the door. Or neutralize. You know, we're learning now that we, in our body, we can love into, let's say, if we want to call them cancer cells, or, you know, some sort of cell that isn't a happy cell. We can love into it. We can neutralize it. We don't even have to think of fighting cancer cells anymore. We can lift ourselves up out of that concept and know that we can neutralize and just, you know, so it's like, calm down, little cell. You know, you're angry. You want to break things and destroy around you. It's okay. Shh, calm down, calm down. We're finding that that is what we can do.
How beautiful, Sunny.
Thank you.
How beautiful. No, yes,
you.
I was. You made me think about one time I met with someone that he healed from cancer, loving his cancer cells, literally embracing and reinforcing the idea, I love you, cancer. I love you. Like, so, I mean, that was like, you think about it, first of all, you're insane, right? Why would you do that? But then you say, why not? It's one of those trillions of cells that you have inside of you. They're part of you. For some reason, they are, you know, not performing well. They're not doing good to you, but they're still there, and they're surrounded by, you know, by good ones.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
they're still part of you. They're part of you, and whatever happened there to make them not, you know, function properly and not help you with this cooperation, they're still there. They're still part of you. So why not embracing that?
Why, you know, I'm just, as you're saying that, and I've been thinking about these kinds of health aspects and how to, you know, what healing is all about and everything. And I'm thinking about when you were talking about the cells, and I'm thinking of, if we want to call them cancer cells, some people, you know, feel that they're angry cells. You know, they're just angry. Let's just give them a title for a minute, just for our conversation. And so if they're angry, then a lot of time, you know, then they can, you know, be angry, and then they just take another cell and take another cell and, you know, get on my team. You know, it's like in our lives, when somebody's angry, when a teenager is angry, let's just say, in certain communities, what they do is they don't isolate that child. They don't beat them up or punish them, even if they do bad things, you know, even if they do bad things in the community. What they do is in certain African, it's a very, very well researched project, you know, that they do a ceremony, that they'll take that child, and what they realize that child needs is more love, to be heard, to be listened to. It is obvious to them. This child is angry. This isn't normal. This isn't this child's nature. They know that. They know that this is not a bad child, a bad seed. They are just having a bad day or week or month or year, but they're not a bad person. And so they know that the remedy for this, the antidote, is love, love, love. And so when you're talking about the person loving their cancer, I'm thinking of, wow, you know, again, if we have 50 trillion cells, and the cancer may start out as 12 cells, and then maybe it's 100, and then maybe it goes to 1,000 or 100,000. It's still, there's so many more healthy cells. So many more. So when we look at our community and stuff, and we see a few people who are really acting out, it's like a little dinky cancer, and it's like, okay, let's just know what the answer is to that. It's not to shoot them or to jail them or to any of these kinds of odd things that we've come up with that are so archaic and kind of crazy. It's like, let's love them. So I dig that idea. On this day, we're breaking it down about the love. We're finding ways.
Exactly, and hold on, because several times throughout our conversation today, we've talked about people that maybe they're not at the best spot today. And isn't it funny that a day that there's a celebration like St. Valentine's Day, we already know there's some people that might feel like, oh my God, everybody has someone to love, and maybe I'm by myself.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody to love, or I think that nobody loves me. So it's still, what can we tell them? What can we tell these people that might feel maybe lonely, or they might feel, oh my God, I don't like any kind of celebration of this sort, because we don't have.
I know exactly what to tell you. And this is inspired by Michael Beckwith, Dr. Michael Beckwith. I was at a ceremony this past weekend for the World Dignity Forum that will be in May, and we've been kind of talking about it on the show. It got postponed to May, and we had a group that came together, and Michael did a ceremony for us, kind of a meditation ceremony thing, and he was taking us on a journey, and he was saying, he was painting this picture of great health and great love and great community and everything. And he said, if you're not feeling it, if you don't have that in your life, just imagine it. And I thought, yay, he was, and because he was talking about health and this and that, and he was realizing, which I thought was so cool, that it's possible. Or he was even talking about if you have a great memory when you were a kid, let's say, and he even acknowledged, by letting us have the permission, if something doesn't come to you, imagine it, just make it up. And so I'm saying today, let's just imagine that whatever it is that we feel that we want when it comes to love, let's imagine that beautiful lover that really respects us and just thinks we're amazing and that we rock it, and just things that were so fun and funny and loves to be around us, or a community of people. Or like yesterday, they celebrate this holiday, Palentine's Day, which is like being with our pals, or Galentine's Day, which is being with the gals. And just imagine, just imagine ourselves as being the most lovely, beautiful, exquisite person. That child, when we were little, maybe a time in our lives when we just thought we were so cool. We were like, oh, we really had it together. Like maybe we were 12, or maybe we were 5, or maybe it was last week or something. And we were just, having the best time, and we loved our outfit, and we loved our health, and we just had it all together. And we could just take that in, because that is us. Even if it's a memory, it's still part of us. It is who we are, or imagining what we can be like when something that's a challenge right now just dissolves away, like that cancer tumor or that whatever, just melts away into the past, and we love it away. And now we have grace and beauty, and we can walk again and talk again and sing and dance and eat beautiful foods and just have a glorious, glorious, fun life. Because we really are supposed to have a fun life, Angel. It's not supposed to be tough. We're supposed to have fun. Love, love, love. So that's my idea. That's my idea of a good time.
Yes, and and let's not put pressure on anybody, because there's and because there's a publicized day that you have to do A, B, C, D, and E. It doesn't matter. Exactly. Just be with yourself, and whatever happens today to you, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be perfect. Again, don't put additional pressure, right? I mean, don't put additional pressure. You're not obliged to do something that you really don't feel like doing. everything that you're doing already is perfect. You know, you don't have to buy those flowers if you don't feel like doing it, or that present, or those candies, or those chocolates. You know, just really just allow yourself to live what's happening around you in the present moment. That's it, nothing else. And that's pure love, because you are love. So that's going to come to the surface from inside of you. So,
Yes. And I think also, I love that you're talking about the non-pressure, because again, I think these holidays, when people, that's why I researched about St. Valentinus, because when people say, oh, it's a Hallmark holiday, and I feel obligated to just, you know, do it. So a couple of things I would like to, you know, I'd like to offer too is, if for any reason we're not with our people we love today, we can always do do-overs or extend it. So if it's this weekend, or if it's March 14th, or or it's March 24th, or whatever, we can always create it. If we're not feeling it today, we can just take a pass, and we can just exhale and do it another day. And I also like to offer the idea of, if some idea floats to us that there's something we can do for somebody else, and again, it may not be today, if the person's not available, or we're not, you know, available, but even if the idea comes to us, oh, I want to reach out to this person who meant so much to me in my life. We can even take this day as an opportunity to think, who are the people who've really shown me love when I wasn't showing love to myself, or when I was in a hard situation? And just maybe sending them a St. Valentinus card in the next week or so, and saying, you know, you, at this time in my life, you probably didn't even know that this mattered to me, but you, a teacher, a friend, whoever, but I really just want you to know, in this month of love, that you showed me something about myself I never knew, you know, or, you know, all that stuff. You guys know what it is. I don't have to lay it out. But I think that would be a really great gift to ourselves, and again, for all the other cells out there, our cell of humanity.
we should find a song related to that would like connect love with cells, and then, you know, you could sing it, because with your amazing musical skills.
Oh my goodness,
that's an idea.
That's a good challenge for me. I'll think of that, or, you know, real community song. But, you know, there's so many cool songs. You know, I think of the song. I'm not going to sing it right now. I don't really. Well, I mean, the song that Paul McCartney wrote for his mom when he was so sad and he was so down, and he had a vision, I guess you could say. His mom came to him in a dream. And so when he wrote that song, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. That was not Mother Mary, the, you know, other Mother Mary. It was actually his mother was named Mary. So she came to him, and he was so stressed out, and she was just saying, you know, I'm here, just let it be, let it be, let it be, my son. And so he wrote that song, and of course that's become an anthem all over the world for almost everything, all the time, you know. So yeah, so I'll find a song that you've put me on the path.
I'm sure you will, because we talk about this very often. We talk about the power of love, and we've brought a lot of amazing guests talking about love and the power of love. So yeah, absolutely. So we're reaching the end of our conversation today, Sunny.
Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Yes, we have. And I want to say how much I love you, Angel, and how much I appreciate that you got me to do this show with you, because you pushed me to do it. And I am just enjoying every minute that we're ever together doing this show. So happy St. Valentinus Day to you, as being the great sacred activist that you are in your life, the Valentine that you are to all the people you touch in your life.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. So thank you very much. Thank you for joining me yet again to help so many people, to inspire so many people to just be themselves and to, you know, find themselves inside of themselves what they really are. To celebrate this day and a stress-free day in which amazing things are going to happen. So, thank you. Thank you so much. Again, this is Angel Ribo. It's going to be difficult for me to finish the show today, but this is Angel Ribo with Mindalia TV. Thank you very much, everybody, for being with us today. It's been kind of a different show, but you know, we have no boundaries here, and we are here to help. We are here to help as many people as possible. We know some of you might be suffering, and we are here to inspire you, to give you maybe some hints, to talk about life from different perspectives, and to help you, you know, overcome anything that might make you not feel, you know, good today. And it's good, and it's okay if you don't feel good today. You know, it's everything is fine. Everything is gonna be fine, and we definitely love you, especially in this San Valentina's Day. Thank you so much for so many things today, Sunny. And again, have a lovely day, everybody, and see you soon. Bye bye.